Hi everyone, in this lecture we are going to see about history of canning. Before knowing the history, we should know the actual canning. So the canning is the method of preservation in which spoilage is averted by the killing the microorganism present by application of heat and prevention by subsequent contamination. सो मैंने कुछ फिशेस अपने हैंड में होल्ड करके रखा है। इस फिशेस को जब हम फायर के ऊपर रखते हैं या द हेल्प ऑफ हम जब हीट का इस्तेमाल करते हैं तो इसके ऊपर जो भी माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स प्रेजेंट है वो डेड होने लगते हैं। बाय दिस मेथड वी कैन प्रिजर्व द that fishes. So and that after applying that heat on that fishes, we will keep that fishes into the container. This process altogether is known as canning. So history of canning.
It was successfully used against the Soviet Union in 1941, who failed to heed many of the warnings they could have gathered from the Battle of France. But once the Second World War became that war of production, and a defensive one for the Germans, blitzkrieg was a far less useful tactic. Despite a late attempt,
the French government faced with the problem of feeding their forces in World War II. So their government announced that those will invent the method of food preservation, they will get 12,000 francs and fame. This is 12,000 francs. It is the money and fame. It is the award, which is the biggest award given by the French government. So now, here now Nicolas Appert came into the role, and in 1809, Nicolas Appert, French confectioner, owned this prize. So this is the pic of Nicolas Appert, and he just invented that canning procedure. So he got the fame of benefactor of humanity award for his invention. And Nicolas Appert called method of preservation as a appertization. Neither he nor the scientists of this period could give the convincing explanation for the Appert success of the process. It was believed that in some magical and mysterious way, air combined with the foodstuff in sealed container and preventing the spoilage. So see what happening here. At that time, the scientists or the peoples were there. They used to think that कि जब भी एक कंटेनर है या हम बोल सकते हैं ये जो है ये है टीन कैन। इस टीन कैन में क्या होता है, ये जब हम सील करवाते हैं टीन कैन को तो लोग क्या सोचते थे कि कुछ तो मिस्टीरियस एयर और या मैजिकल एयर जो फूड के साथ कंबाइन हो रही है। ये जो मिस्टीरियस एयर ये क्या कर रही है, फूड के साथ कंबाइन हो रही है। ये मिस्टीरियस एयर ये फूड के साथ कंबाइन हो रही है और फूड को क्या कर रही है, प्रिवेंट कर रही है स्पॉइलेज होने से। ये पहले के लोग सोचते थे। और इवन दो निकोलस अपार्ट को भी पता नहीं था कि ये क्या हो रहा है, बट उन्हें अपर्टाइजेशन प्रोसेस या पता थी कि कैसे फूड को प्रिजर्व करते हैं, बट एक्चुअली प्रिंसिपल क्या हो रहा है ये उन्हें भी पता नहीं था। सो निकोलस अपार्ट यूज अ ग्लास कंटेनर फॉर द अपर्टाइज्ड प्रोडक्ट। सिंस देन द कैनिंग इंडस्ट्री बहुत सारे डेवलपमेंट हमें देखने को मिले हैं। सो इनमें बहुत सारी चीज जैसे कि 1 पीस 2 पीस कैन हमें देखने को मिला है। नई नई मशीन और तकनीक इजाद हुए। इसके अलावा कैन को ओपन करने के लिए ओपनर एंड सील करने के लिए सीमिंग मशीन का इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन हुआ। अलग अलग टेक्निक्स जैसे कि सीमिंग एंड कैन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्लांट, ऐसे डिफरेंट डिफरेंट चीजों का लाइक मैन्युफैक्चरेशन हुआ और इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन हुआ। सो बहुत सारी चीजें हुई इन हिस्ट्री। उनमें द फ्रेंच गवर्नमेंट इन 1975 invention the method of food preservation. The beginning of हुआ canning of lobster। जो पहले क्या करते थे लोग इंग्लैंड में, द इंग्लैंड इज द प्लेस फॉर द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द लाइक लॉबस्टर कैनिंग। तो वहां से जो स्प्रेड हुआ वो अमेरिका में जाकर स्प्रेड होने लगा। इन्वेंशन ऑफ टिन कैनिस्टर इन 1820 द टिन कैनिस्टर डिस्कवर्ड किया गया बाय पीटर ड्यूरेंट। The present can is abbreviated from the canister metal cans. In 1840s, the heat processing of canned food was done by the boiling water in chemical NaCl and CaCl2 add किया गया। So this is the picture of the Peter Durant and the can which is invented by the tin can which is like manufactured by them. It is look like this. So see, until 1840, the heat processing canned food was done in boiling water. To increase the temperature, boiling water chemicals such as sodium chloride, calcium chloride were added to the water. Used steam for the heat processing become prevalent in 1840s. So what happened? Once they just using these like in this, they just feel that for like processing canned foods, they adding NaCl, sodium chloride, NaCl, and calcium chloride, CaCl2, calcium chloride. They use such kind of materials in the food for that avoiding their spoilage, like for becoming prevalent for their in 1840s. So next, through the canning as a method of food preservation continued to gain popularity, then underlying principle of preservation was not known to anybody. The scientist basis of preservation, heat processing food in like earlier can was like that, due to that canning method of preservation was being famous at the time, but no one knows the principle of preservation. The Louis Pasteur demonstrated in 1860 spoilage is caused due to macroscopic vegetation. So the spoilage is caused due to which reason, like which what was that basic principle due to which the spoilage was occurring? That was a macroscopic vegetation of organisms, and they can be made inactive by heating. So this is the Louis Pasteur. He was finding the actual reason behind the food getting spoiled. So he was the like founder of that spoilage reason of principle of spoilage. If you want to know the what is experiment which had done by that Louis Pasteur, so if you want to know that, then click on this I button, you will get that video. The canning industry had all the while been facing the problem of condemning several lots of product merely because of insufficient heating in the final heat processing stages. What happens? This is the can. This is the can. Like this is the can. So if I want to go like just a minute, let me clear out this. Think about this is a kind of can. This is a can. In this can, so if we want to penetrate the heat into this can, so the technique was not known, well known at the scientists at that time. So Andrew Shriver, the pretended the pressure retard for heat processing canned food 1874. In 1874, the Andrew Shriver did the pressure retard for heat processing. So next, this pressure retards look like this in this picture. You can see introduction of inside coated cans. What happens due to pressure retorts technique? The can get corroded, or due to high temperature can inner layer get corroded, and due to the reason for this the AMS was another achievement for canning. He found out the inside coating, like we should coat the can inside by something material which should be inert, so it should not get contaminated with the food. So this technique was given by the in 1890 by the Max Ems was Ems as another achievement in canning. Sorry. Inside coated can. Cans are coated inside like this. In this picture, you can see the cans are coated inside by this. Look like this. And then next, you can see this development of sanitary cans in sanitary cans around 90s paved a way mechanization. और धड़ल्ले से जो भी mechanization होने लगा, और 19 में ज्यादा से ज्यादा होने like can का production होने लगा. Scientific explanation of canning given by the Andrew Russells in 1895. The first scientific paper by Prescott and Underwood in 1897. जो प्रेस्कॉट और अंडरवुड ने है जो है वो कैनिंग का फर्स्ट साइंटिफिक पेपर दिया. इफ यू वांट टू नो दैट पेपर like will be the description, it will be in the description box if you want to know for more. So this is the all about history of canning. Then the classic work of Christian Mayer, heat resistant macroorganisms, and then patenting aseptic canning by the ball, like that. This was the kind of somewhat discovery done by the different scientists. This is the whole history of the canning. Thank you for watching this video. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो. चलो चलते हैं, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. तब तक के लिए धन्यवाद.